katika hiyo nafasi, ama tatizo lilikuwa liko wapi. Kwa sababu tukiwa katika hii kamati tumeona watu wenye tajriba ya kutosha, ya kutosheleza wao kusimamia hizi kampuni, lakini mara kwa mara huwa matatizo ni yale yale. Kwa sababu if you are a degree holder, if you qualified to be employed in that position is because your CV allowed you to be there. So labda tu tueleze ni vipi tatizo hili limejitokeza.
Senator Amida, then the governor can
respond. I think
respond.
the same question here, what Senator Miraj is asking should go both to auditors, of course, and to Excellency's office. Why it wasn't corrected before? And because the variances, seriously, it's really the variances. If you looked at what we had compared to now what the governor is clarifying, it was quite, actually I was surprised by, the figures. So I'm just wondering, why did it take so long to be corrected? And why was it corrected only after the matter has been escalated, to both auditors and the office?
So, Governor, you can chip in.
Once again, let me request an officer who was there maybe to explain, but I think he explained there was a circular from the National Treasury which guides these matters, and it was delayed, and as a result, at that point in time, the figures were not properly picked, and when the Auditor General picked the sum during the audit, I think the correction was made, and we have admitted that was inadvertent, and it's perhaps worthy noting that it's been corrected, and also the mistake admitted. Thank you. In terms of competence, I think anyone, if a circular from the National Treasury which guides the way you're supposed to do certain things comes a bit late, you may not do things correctly if you relied on what used to be there before. We had a managing director, although they are not there. Their time expired, and we have an acting one, and they are competent when we look at their qualifications. Thank you.
Honorable members, I think you need to make progress. The auditor has confirmed that the error was rectified, and I think you'll be watching over it in 2021-2022 report to see whether the matter will recur again. But if there are any competence issues or capacity issues, I believe, Governor, you can take administrative steps to address that. So, honorable members,
Chair.
Senator Kitui.
Before you roll, Chair, I just want to confirm from the Auditor General that the variance has not occasioned any loss of public funds.
No, Chairman. There is no loss.
Okay. So, Chair, because I mean, there is no loss of funds and a mistake has been identified and corrected, and I think that is fine. In any situation, if you apply the wrong template to any matrix, you will get different results. So definitely this will be to occasion a different result. If we are okay that no money has been lost, we are good to go. On the issue of capacity, I think then you have properly advised the governor. If there is need to do capacity building within Kitrasco, that matter is a matter that I think will be an important one to do, if there will be need. Thank you, Chair.
Very well. So I think the error was rectified, and this matter is resolved, but we'll keep our watch over it in 2021-2022 report. Honorable members, now those members who have come in, I had directed that we combine that query with query number 6 and number 7, which are on page 8 of the audit report. The audit report are in your files. So go to page 8. There is a regular appointment of board members, members of the board of directors. Governor, your response.
Thank you, Chair.
Members, if you have difficulties to locate the response, I think staff can guide you. Proceed.
During the year under review, that is FY 2020-2021, a new board of directors was appointed. However, a review of the board members' personnel files revealed that 4 out of the 6 board members had not met the minimum eligibility criteria set out in the advertisement of having at least a degree in a relevant field. In the circumstances, that's what the auditor raised, and it is true, because when you look at the WASREB guidelines on appointment of board members, there is a requirement you have a degree and certain professional...
Sorry, Governor.
Yeah.
We're actually struggling to get where the response is from this document.
Yeah, that is 2024. If you look at the bluish, standard blue kind of, yeah.
Yeah, honorable members, is on page 45 of this bundle.
Yeah, yeah. So it's on page 45.
Sorry, proceed, Governor.
Yeah, so according to WASREB guidelines on appointment of board members of water providers, a member ought to have a minimum of a bachelor's degree from a recognized university in the following backgrounds: CPA, HISPAC, and of course, finance, a bachelor's in finance or accounting. Would either be a registered engineer, a human resource practitioner, a practicing advocate of the High Court, and then there is another category which is also specified. And we agree, if you look at the 7 members who were appointed, there are 3 who are not qualified. Because, as I said, it's good to admit that which was done or has been done not in line with the guidelines. We have the chairman. He has a bachelor's of education. And then we have another member. Is called Gustus James Mutio. He has a teacher training college P1, retired, and is a retired teacher, and therefore, in our view, is not qualified. He doesn't have a degree. We have
where are you reading from?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it there really? think the governor,
yeah.
the governor has his own response. We don't have.
Let me just read what is here. So the qualifications and the guidelines as outlined by WhatsRep are the ones indicated on page 5. If you look at page 45, when you look at page 46, because we have admitted that the appointments did not conform to the WhatsRep guidelines, we are saying the county government is planning to restructure the board to conform to WhatsRep guidelines which were issued in 2018, and the process is projected to be completed by 30th of September 2023.
Thank you. Auditor, your response?
Chairman, the governor has indeed
Honorable members, your comment on this. As you think about your comments, Governor, we have a circular in our possession by WhatsRep that was giving a deadline for this process. I think the legal officer will point out that particular circular. But the deadline is coming close. I think in the next 2 weeks, you should have a board which is aligned to the WhatsRep guidelines. Why did you choose to do it in the first quarter of 2023, 2024? You made a reference to that circular, but that circular is timed, and the legal officer can confirm. When was it supposed to be due?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. The day of lapse was on the 6th of July of this year, 2020.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 6th of July. I don't know whether you got that circular because it was sent to all the governors.
I did not come across.
Was it the CEC for water? Are you aware of the circular?
No, Chair. We had planned to do it by 30 September in-house.
Okay, maybe the legal officer, you can briefly summarize this. The circular is long. She actually gives guidelines on how to reorganize your boards. Proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. This circular was issued on the 6th of April 2023, and it makes reference to the advisory on the regulatory framework, service provision in Kenya, and the need for compliance. It gives a background on the role of the national and 47 county governments with respect to their roles in the ownership of water, public works, regulation of water resources, the regulation of water services, and consumer protection, while reference to the county government's role in provision of water and sanitation management. However, just to highlight on the issue of appointment of board of directors, the circular reads that pursuant to section 79 of the Water 16, read together with the regulation water service regulation 1, each water service provider shall have a board of directors where the members of the board shall be constituted in accordance with the Companies Act and the regulatory standards issued by. It further states that shall ensure that the are appointed in a transparent and competitive stakeholder participation procedure, and all times meet the minimum standards stipulated under Regulation 10(2) of the Water Service Regulation 21. It continues that each water service provider shall have directors comprising between 5 and 9 directors, where 2 of the directors shall be representatives of the mix from the profession stipulated under the corporate governance guidelines for the water sector 2018, while ensuring that not more than 2/3 of them are the same gender. It states that by the dint of Regulation 10(3) of Water Service Regulations 2021, the term of members of the board shall be 3 years renewable, once subject to satisfactory performance upon board evaluation, which term shall not be affected by the expiry of the office of the county government. Chair, that is just a brief summary on the appointment of board of directors. However, it further states that with respect to county government oversight role, it states that counties shall exercise an oversight role on the water service providers through county representatives on the board of directors. That's the CC Water, CC Finance, and chief officers. It continues to state with reference to management of the water service providers that all management staff are appointed after a competitive recruitment as per employment laws, and that managing directors of water service providers shall serve for a term of 3 years, which may be renewed twice, subject to satisfactory performance in line with Regulation 11(3) of the Water Service Regulations 2021. And with respect, in conclusion, with respect to the way forward, the circular states that WASREB reiterates that it is crucial for all water service providers to comply with the regulatory framework in a bid to improve the governance and management of water utilities, with the ultimate goal of fast-tracking the country's vision on achieving access to water for all Kenyans by the year 2030. And in this regard, the regulatory board hereby directs that all water service providers shall comply with the above stated regulatory provisions and standards within 90 days from the date of this letter, failure to which necessary enforcement measures will be activated. Therefore, Chair, in winding up, I'd just like to say that subject to the date of the circular and subject to the duration that is 90 days from that date, the 90 days would lapse as of 6th of July 2023. Thank you, Chair.
Which is actually, is it a week, next week?
Yes, Chair, it's next week.
Yeah, honorable members, any comment?
Hey, Chair,
Senator Kisan?
I have an issue also with the WASREP guidelines.